What makes a person who dedicates their entire life to saving others give up on their own? Think about it for a second. Someone who wakes up every day with the mission of snatching lives from the clutches of death, who carries in their hands the gift of making hearts beat again, who is applauded, admired, revered as a true hero. Suddenly, they simply can't take it anymore. It seems impossible, doesn't it? But it happens. And it happens more often than we imagine. Today, I'm going to tell you a true story that will make you rethink everything you believe about success, strength, and happiness. A story about a brilliant, millionaire man respected by all, who literally held the power of life and death in his hands. Someone who lived surrounded by people, but was dying of loneliness inside. Someone who saved hundreds, but failed himself in the most devastating way possible. Have you ever stopped to think about the weight some people carry in silence? That friend who's always smiling. That successful family member. That colleague who seems to have everything under control. Well, behind the achievements, the diplomas on the wall, the fat bank accounts, there's a human being with fears, with pain, with limitations. And when those limitations are crossed without anyone noticing, tragedy creeps in stealthily, like a silent disease that corrodes from within until it's too late. The story you are about to hear is not about judgment. It's not about pointing fingers or looking for someone to blame. It's about understanding that even the strongest break. That mental health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. That self-love is not selfishness, it's survival. And that often, the people who help the most are the ones who ask for help the least. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover may change the way you see the people around you and, most importantly, how you take care of yourself. This is not just another sad story. It's an urgent warning, a mirror reflecting uncomfortable truths about the society we live in, about the masks we wear, and about the absurd price we pay when we prioritize image over essence. Let's talk about a cardiovascular surgeon named Raphael. A man who had everything, literally everything. Enviable professional prestige, a multi-million-dollar fortune, family, recognition. His hands saved more than 800 lives throughout his career. 800 families who are still breathing thanks to his exceptional surgical skill. But here's the cruel paradox that will make you question everything. Those same hands couldn't hold onto his own life when it began to slip through his fingers. What you're about to discover may surprise you, move you, and perhaps even save you or someone you love. Because the truth is this, no one is immune. Financial success doesn't shield you from emotional collapse. Public admiration doesn't cure loneliness. And having the power to save lives doesn't mean you know how to save your own when it's falling apart. Before we continue, let me ask you an honest question. If someone close to you were at their breaking point, would you know how to recognize the signs? Or would we also fall into the trap of believing that strong people don't break, that successful people don't suffer, that heroes don't bleed? Raphael's story will show us that these beliefs can be fatal. And since we're talking about human connection, about seeing beyond appearances, I want to ask you something. If this topic resonates with you, if you've experienced something similar or know someone who is going through it, leave a comment below about what has touched you the most so far. It could be a word, a reflection, a personal experience. This space isn't just mine, it's ours. It's where we build a community of people who truly care about what really matters in life. And if you find this content relevant, click the like button. It seems like a small gesture, but believe me, it makes all the difference. That's how the algorithm understands that this message needs to reach more people. And let's face it, if there's someone out there scrolling through their feed at 3 in the morning, feeling lonely, thinking they can't take it anymore, this story might be exactly what that person needs to hear today. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, now's the time. Because the goal here isn't just entertainment for entertainment's sake. It's about bringing real, profound stories that touch us deeply and help us grow as human beings. Your participation here is what makes this channel grow and reach more people with this kind of transformative content. So hit the bell icon too, because every week there's new content that will make you think, feel, and maybe even see life with new eyes. Now back to Dr. Raphael's story. What few knew is that behind that impeccable lab coat, those steady hands operating with millimeter precision, there was a man falling apart in slow motion. And it all began when he realized that saving lives had become his complete identity, not just his profession. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Imagine the scene. It's 6 in the morning. The sun hasn't even fully risen yet, and Raphael is already in the operating room preparing for the third surgery of the week. A 12-year-old girl with a congenital heart defect. The entire family placed their last hope in him. He opens her chest with his usual dexterity, corrects the defective valve, sutures with technical perfection. 4 hours later, the girl is breathing on her own. The mother cries with relief in his arms. The father squeezes his hand with infinite gratitude. His colleagues applaud in the hallway. Raphael smiles, he waves, he accepts the compliments. But inside, something is empty. That feeling of accomplishment that used to fill his chest simply doesn't come anymore. It's like eating without tasting the food. He saved a life, but he can't connect with. That moment, his transformation from hero to emotional survivor was already underway, but no one noticed. Not even he fully understood what was happening. This is the crucial point in Raphael's journey, when purpose becomes prison. When the mission to save becomes so great that it swallows the man behind it. And the hidden truth in all of this is that he wasn't alone in this feeling. Thousands of professionals live this paradox every day. The impact of dedicating one's life to others exacts a price that few are willing to admit. Raphael's journey to that surgical center was no accident. Born into a humble family in the countryside, he grew up watching his father work double shifts to pay for his studies. His mother sewed at night to supplement the family income. From a young age, Raphael carried the weight of being the family's hope. He couldn't fail. He didn't have the right to. So he studied like an obsessive, passed the federal medical school entrance exam, was the top of his class, and completed his residency at the best institutions in the country. Each step he climbed was a victory, but also a new layer of pressure. At 35, he already had what many dream of their entire lives. His own clinic catering to the business and political elite. A penthouse apartment with panoramic views. An imported car in the garage. A bank account with 7 digits. The decisions he made on the operating table were reflected in hefty checks at the end of the month. Power was seductive. He controlled who would live and who would die. Literally, this feeling of absolute control over life extended to everything. Or at least that's what he believed. It was in this glittering backstage setting that he met Anna, a 28-year-old operating room nurse. Her eyes seemed to see beyond the facade. She wasn't impressed by his car or his expensive dinners. She saw the weary man behind the success. And Raphael, for the first time in years, felt he could breathe close to someone without having to prove anything. The romance began discreetly, intensely forbidden. Because Raphael was hiding one detail. He had been married for 15 years to Marcia, the mother of his 2 children. What began as a genuine emotional connection quickly transformed into something much bigger and more dangerous. Raphael and Anna lived in the intervals. Between one surgery and another, between a shift and a lie. Between the suffocating reality and the illusion of freedom, he told himself that it was temporary, that he would soon find the courage to resolve everything. But the hidden truth was that he was addicted to the feeling of being to people at the same time. At home, the exemplary husband, a present father on weekends. In the hospital, the passionate lover who finally felt alive. The lies multiplied at an alarming rate. Invented shifts, non-existent conferences. A cell phone with a password changed every week. Raphael became a master at constructing parallel narratives. And here's the cruelest revelation. He was too good at it. The same precision he used to suture arteries, he now applied to stitching together lies. Each wrong decision corroded a piece of him from the inside, but on the outside, no one noticed anything. His smile remained impeccable, his professional performance untouchable, his facade perfect, until Anna found out. 6 months after the start of their relationship, she found a photo of Raphael with his wife and children in the glove compartment of his car. His world collapsed in seconds. She didn't scream. She didn't make a scene. She just looked at him with a mixture of pain and disappointment that hurt more than any accusation. It ended right there, no going back. And it was at that moment that the first real crack appeared in Raphael's armor. Because for the first time, he couldn't fix something that was broken. There was no surgery to heal it. What followed was a devastating domino effect. 2 weeks after breaking up with Anna, Marcia found the messages. It didn't take much. A phone accidentally unlocked. Conversations he swore he deleted. The truth exploded in his face like a bomb he himself had set off. The divorce came quickly, cruelly, inevitably. The children stopped answering his calls. The house became a silent battlefield until he packed his bags and left. And here's the crucial point of this journey. Raphael had millions in the bank, but no one to call at 3 in the morning when his chest tightened. He had authority in the hospital, but no authority over his own mind. He continued saving lives with the same technical mastery as always, but inside he was slowly dying. Guilt was a physical weight on his chest. Loneliness, a void that not all the money in the world could fill. And worst of all, he didn't know how to ask for help. How could he? He was the savior. Heroes don't break, right? Wrong. The consequences of his choices manifested themselves in ways invisible to others. Chronic insomnia that only improved with ever-increasing doses of medication, panic attacks hidden in the bathroom between surgeries, hands that began to tremble slightly, almost imperceptibly, but he knew: alcohol to fall asleep, caffeine to wake up. A self-destructive cycle that he controlled with the same precision with which he controlled scalpels. Only this time, the patient on the table was himself. And he was failing miserably. 3 colleagues asked if he was okay. Always the same automatic answer, just tired. The fake smile was so rehearsed that he sometimes even believed it himself. That Tuesday in September, Raphael saved his last life. An 8-year-old girl with a severe congenital heart defect. Complex surgery, 6 hours on the operating table, but he succeeded. When she opened her eyes in recovery and smiled at her mother, everyone in the operating room applauded. Raphael waved, thanked them, and walked down the corridor with his scrubs still stained. It was 11 o'clock at night. He climbed up to the hospital's rooftop, a place he sometimes frequented to catch his breath between surgeries. The city shone below, full of life, movement, people returning home. And he realized with painful clarity, he no longer had a home to return to. There was no one waiting for him anymore. He saved 847 lives, but lost his own in the process. The transformation from hero to victim was complete. At 11:52 p.m., security guards found his lab coat neatly folded over the parapet. His body was found in the parking lot. The little girl he had saved hours earlier slept peacefully in the pediatric ICU, unaware that the doctor who gave her life had given up on her. The funeral brought together hundreds, patients, colleagues, families, all with the same question: how did someone so strong reach this point? The answer is simple and devastating: because nobody really asked. Because he learned to hide it. Because a hero can't be weak. That mentality kills, literally, the impact of. Raphael's death was a shockwave that woke many people, but it came too late for him. The legacy he left wasn't just medical technique or lives saved. It was a warning: take care of those who care for you. Ask real questions. Look beyond the smile. If you've made it this far, it's because this story touched you in some way. And that says a lot about you. It means you're not the type to consume content just to pass the time. You seek something that truly makes sense, that transforms you, that helps. You grow as a person. And that's exactly the kind of content I bring to the channel every week. Real stories, profound reflections, messages that stay with us long after the video ends. So if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Click the subscribe button below because you don't want to miss the upcoming content. And turn on notifications too, because the algorithm is unpredictable and I don't want you to miss any of these stories. And look, if this message really resonated with you, if it hit you hard, leave a comment saying, "This message was for me," because when I see those comments, I know this work makes sense. I know that someone on the other side understood, felt connected. And that's what motivates me to continue bringing this kind of content to you. The like button also helps a lot. It seems silly, but that's how more people who need to hear this message will find this video. So if you felt it was worthwhile, click the like button. And before you go, there's a video here that complements this topic in a way you need to see. It talks about how to recognize the signs of someone who is at their breaking point before it's too late. Click and continue with me there, because this conversation isn't over yet.